What's going on, everybody? This is a new podcast called Here's the Thing. On this podcast, it's basically me giving my political opinion on different topics. Some of it will be news related, some of it will be just my personal opinion, and I'm going to upload videos probably twice a week, and there's just going to be short little clips of me just talking. Nothing too crazy, nothing too serious. All going to be political. I shouldn't say nothing too serious, though. It's pretty serious. I'm going to get killed for some of the opinions that I have. I know it. I could feel it. I could sense it. It gets you here. I know. Guys, I hope you enjoy. If you do, like and subscribe. What's going on, guys? I want to mention this shirt that I'm wearing. I'm a follower of Jordan Peterson. That's when they made him into Red Skull. They predicated Red Skull off of his character, and he immediately started selling shirts. At least his daughter did. Bought one real quick. Didn't have to think about it. 20 bucks. Said, yep. Eat my money. Give me that shirt. Don't regret it. Probably buy a second one. From my mom's and shit. Get her on that Peterson swag. So, with that being said, the second topic, which has almost nothing to do with Jordan Peterson. I wanted to actually talk about, this isn't necessarily relevant right now. This isn't necessarily a political thing going on right now. News, right? But I did want to talk about values. This is pretty much going to give you an understanding of who I am, what I believe. I'm fairly conservative, and I'm just going to run through the things I believe and run through values. So I lean more towards the right. I believe I'm technically a classical liberal. I believe that's the terminology for me. So I always supported gay marriage, and I always supported legalization of marijuana. Those are the two things I never had a problem with, even as I grew up and I got more sophisticated, never had an issue with it. I'm 25 years old. I'm going to school. I plan to be a psychologist. I'm going to school for psychology. I hope to get my doctorate's degree. That's what I'm doing. Gay marriage and legalization of marijuana. I was so down with that. I'm more pro-life. I mean, again, if someone wanted an abortion, it's very, very, there's a strict criteria in my estimation, so there's that, but I consider myself pro-life. I'm pro-gun, obviously. I'm pro-freedom of speech, and some people don't understand what I mean when I say pro-freedom of speech. I mean, like, anybody can go to a university, anybody can go to Twitter or Facebook, as long as they're not doing anything evil and sinister. They have a right to express their opinions. That's one of my core values. The reason why I have this American flag tattoo is not because I'm super, super, super into politics. I have some friends I talk politics with. I have some friends I never talk politics with. The guy who's editing these videos and putting it together didn't even know what Palestine was. He thought Palestine was a person.
Yeah, I did.
Yeah. Thought Palestine was a person. So I'm saying, like, there's a lot of people in my life that I'm involved with that I do not get into some of these political conversations with. That's not why I got this tattoo. I got the tattoo because I have core American values that I believe in. Like, again, freedom of speech, the Second Amendment, and I have an overall love for this country. At the end of the day, I think this. You could really get along with damn near anyone if they allow you to speak. Okay, freedom of speech is actually for the people you disagree with. It's not for you. You don't get freedom of speech in a selfish way where I could just say whatever I want. No, it's there so you can take the opportunity to withstand opinions you disagree with. You will face that in life. You just will. You're going to grow up. You're going to get out there in the world. There's going to be a lot of people out there that don't agree with what you're saying. You can't just run around with a gun or a mallet beating people up because they're talking about stuff you don't want them to talk about. Freedom of speech is one of the core values. I think in relationships, I think when it comes to friendships, but when it comes to intimate relationships in particular, you can disagree with a lot of different politics. You could disagree with what Governor DeSantis said 2 weeks ago when he was talking about X, Y, and Z. You could disagree about, Tim Scott. You could disagree about all these things. But at the end of the day, if you believe in these core values, and one of them is freedom of speech, to its entirety, then I think you'll be okay. I think there's that one. I think the right to bear arms. I think the right to bear arms is another core value. I think the way I see it is like you and I could disagree on all different types of guns, right? And what should be allowed, how it should be bought. We can get into the ins and outs of all these different things. But at the end of the day, I believe that you have a right to own a gun, right? So if I'm going to sit down with a girl and I'm talking to a girl, these are all the ladies out there. These are all the ladies out there that are eyeing me, right? They wanted some of that roasted marshmallow, like, you know. You don't know. Thank God, right? My kid's going to be white. All the girls that are looking at me. It's like, yo, listen, like, again, we could disagree about all these different politics, but if you're trying to tell me that I can't own a gun and that guns are evil and guns represent death, it's just not going to work. That's one of my core values. And I think again, guys, if you're out there and you're talking to girls, if you're out there and you're talking to guys and you find out that they have that belief, that they think that guns are sinister to their core, it's not going to work. You can disagree about politics. You can disagree about the bump stock. Okay, we could disagree about the size of the barrel, right? We could disagree about what age you could get it. We could disagree about all that. But at the end of the day, if you just say, no, guns are evil and you shouldn't be able to buy them, that's different. That, and I say the third value is just an appreciation for the country. I think the country gets such a bad rap for the bad history that it had. People don't ever want to look at the fact that we came out of that. They don't ever want to acknowledge the fact that, yeah, we used to be slave. We used to have, America was a racist society that owned slaves, and it's not anymore. Like, that matters. Okay, you can't just focus on the terrible things that happened before and not acknowledge the fact that we don't do them anymore. That's a part of America too. And so you get these people that they don't want to see it that way. I can't remember her name, but she was a 16-year-old black girl, and she had a knife in her hand. She's going to attack another black girl who's, I believe, 16 years old, around the same age. And the police officer shot her and killed her. And people just say, oh, it's racist. George Floyd, everything that happened, oh, it's racist. It's like, well, if it's racist, guys, then why don't you charge him for hate crime? Why didn't you ever bring up racism in the court system? Why didn't you try to get him on any of that? You brought forth no empirical evidence to prove racism. You wanted to act like the court was a referendum on the country as a whole, like it was indicative of systemic American racism, but you didn't charge him with racism. It's kind of silly how you do that. So what I'm saying is, if you can't focus on the fact that we're not that like that anymore, and you're going to look at every single little example of a black person getting killed by a white person, you're going to automatically assume that's racist. That's a core value. Again, guys and girls out there, if you're looking for a partner, you're looking for an intimate relationship, and you find someone who's like that and you're not like that, it won't work. Like I said, you could disagree about what phone you want to buy. She's an iPhone girl, you're an Android guy, vice versa. Not a big deal. But when you want to say that the country's evil and racist, nah, that is a big deal, and you're not going to just be able to talk someone out of that. Those three core values are important. Freedom of speech, the ability to own the Second Amendment, and acknowledging the fact that America is not this racist, evil, awful country, and that we came a long way and we're still making progress. Those three values, if you find someone out there, make sure they have those values, and you'll be good if you have those values. If you don't have those values, then you're not going to be able to get with someone who has those values. You need to get with someone with those that share the same similar values as you do. I just want to clear that up in this video. Again, it's not this isn't a news-related video, not recent topic video. It's just giving a little bit more information about who I am and my beliefs. And so I wanted to say that. This is another episode of Here's the Thing. I'm your host, Darren Beasley. And that's it, guys. Hope you like, subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you next time.